Hello, I'm Oranges_Love. I'll be running Lupin Sansei Densetsu no Hihou away, or Lupin the Third Hunt for Legendary Treasure. First thing I'm going to do is check the options, make sure it's set to easy. Prefer to run, yeah, there's easy. Prefer to run easy in marathons because it's basically exactly the same as normal. I may have split that starting split wrong, doesn't matter. Except you take less damage on easy, basically half as much. So it's basically just way more marathon safe. So the first thing you should know about is in the bottom right you see whatever item I've equipped. Those are the moon shoes. They basically make me do a bigger jump. You'll usually see me use them before grabbing any ladder, just to save a tiny amount of time. And right here we have the bombs. They do the most damage. They're basically very important for the run, especially for bosses. I'm going to use one right here just because these guys are on the ground and I have to kill them. Yeah, they force you to kill those 3 little robots. Most other robots I won't be killing. You see between every stage there's a little eye catch from the TV show and a password, and sometimes a cutscene I'm skipping. Alright, right now I have the Walther, which I'll be using to break the computers. In all of the earlier stages there's a computer you have to find and break, and it opens up all the doors and the exit. I'm actually going to grab these extra bullets. I usually don't, but it's just extra safe. So like in this stage, in normal mode, I usually have to use a first aid box to heal. Because it's easy mode, I take half as much and I can just tank everything. So this stage you're going to see me use the wire. Right here. Oh, unless I miss. See, in normal mode, I would have to like dodge those lasers because it's easy. It's okay if I miss it. But swinging on the wire, like on a ceiling, like I was trying to do, it's actually very fast. So like if you wanted, you could actually use that in a lot of places. Okay, so right there, usually falling from that distance would kill you. That's a new strat. We just discovered that if you can fire 4 times like that, you won't take fall damage, you can survive, and it saves a good bit of time. So right here is a new strat that you didn't see last time if you saw this one, the last SNES Super Stars. Yeah, shout out to Sonic for finding both that boss fight strat and the falling strat. It's more of a trick. And right here we have to go sort of the more intended way to get back. Now I have to do that really carefully because you can mess up grabbing that ledge and just die and have to do everything again. Yeah, if you take fall damage, you die and have to start over the level. No, this game was never released in the United States or outside of Japan. only one Lupin game was ever released in the United States. That's Treasure of the Sorcerer King for PS2. Unless you count Cliffhanger for arcades. And it's 2 games. It's more if you live in Italy, but those are only in Italian. Is another small change. We shoot that guy instead of damage boosting twice. Yeah, you'll notice the computers that I break are, for some reason, always on floor 6. Not sure why they did that. Just a good middle number. So right there's actually very scary robots that come out of the ceiling, and they're extremely fast and they can shoot you. Basically, it's impossible to get by without killing them or using a flash bomb like I just did. So this game is really generous. It gives you 3 flash bombs to start with, which is exactly how many mini bosses you need to freeze to get by. Not sure what's going on in chat, like some discussion on PC versus console, PC versus Mac, what's going on in there? I don't know. Alright, so here's another mini boss, sort of. And getting by him is very tight, but go for the sort of tighter strat. I think I'm close enough to grab that ledge. Yes, that's good. Yeah, so sometimes the camera doesn't pan all the way up and you can't actually see the ledge, and you just have to sort of do it by feel. Also, the computers, they have to be on screen for you to shoot them, but when they're on the right, for some reason, they can be a little bit off screen. Oh yeah, these little robots are sort of like Roombas, sliding around, shooting you. Yeah, killing them is really inconvenient because they're on the ground. You can't shoot them. You have to use either a kick or a bomb, and it's never worth the time. It's impossible to dodge that laser floor right there, so I just run into it. That room's really tricky because of how the timing with the lasers goes. But you can't really use the wire in that room, even though it'd be so much faster, because it just creates a lot of lag. me jumping to that wall right now is a little manipulation. Otherwise this guy gets like right in your way. Yeah, if you're just seeing this run, it seems like a lot of these enemies aren't that scary, but like if you don't already know the strat, they're pretty terrible to deal with. Like if you actually try fighting them normally, basically. We're coming up on the first boss. I don't remember exactly what strats I used last SNES Super Stars. I may have already had this boss routed. But it used to not be, it used to be a pain in the butt, but basically we have both of the big boss fights routed, so they're essentially scripted. They can go off script because they're still difficult, but if things go to plan, it should be fast and clean. Alright, not totally perfect, but still really good. I didn't talk about the flash bombs, even though I already used it twice. It just freezes everything on screen. And like they still have hitboxes, so you can't just like freeze and walk through everything. Be careful how you do it. And bosses, you can't keep hurting them when they're frozen. You hit them once, and you have to wait for them to unfreeze for their iframes to go away. So they're not totally abusable. Alright, here's the last little mini boss. You can use the flash bomb earlier, but I like to get right on top of him. We'll do slag. Alright, there are two stages in this game that are essentially forks in the past sequence of stages. In this one, you can either stay on the bridge, which is pretty challenging the entire time. You'll get a different stage 11, or you can just fall down here and swim to the lower stage 11, which is faster. So we're just gonna be swimming for a bit. Pay attention. Already at the end. See, he starts flashing as if like he's gonna drown, but the time like between flashing and drowning is like way longer than the time between, you know, first going underwater and flashing. So you actually have like plenty of time to get all the way over here without having to like stop and get air in like those earlier paths. Right, here's a really tough strat. Let's see if I can. That's not gonna be enough. Yeah, ideally I would land on that ledge up there, then just jump onto this one. But using the wire is actually really more complicated than it looks. Nice. And this was probably also kind of the first anime intended for adults that I've watched. I don't know, it was a long time ago. It very well could have been. Right here we just have a bunch of like floors of enemies that I have to avoid. Dropping down ladders. That was weird. So I usually try and grab that ladder that I just grabbed to the right. Not because I have to like avoid fall damage, but because it manipulates the arrow to be in a good place. So I can slip between the robot, the arrow, and the drop. Those little water droplets are actually like things that can hurt you. Alright, this stage is also slightly different from the last time I ran it here. I jumped a little early there. See, ideally I want to jump right at the edge of that thing, and then press right just before landing on the boulder. That way the knockback sends me left instead of right. And the rest of this is just falling. Oh yeah, I love Shin-chan. In fact, I speedrun a couple Shin-chan games. Alright, well, we have 9 bombs in. Perfect. Oops. It's possible to jump between that robot and that block, but I usually get it, but it's pretty precise. So coming up, there's a glitch that seems to keep happening to me. I don't know why. I'm just gonna go for it, see if it happens since I have 9 bombs. Nope, okay. Sometimes that wall just doesn't explode. I have to like walk to the right and walk back to make it like, I guess, load properly. Okay, that's another difference right there between previous routes. I used to like go right instead of going through that wall. And it took a lot more time. So I'll try and do the correct boss strat. Just when I was warming up earlier, it did not go correctly both times, so we'll see. Okay, we got 2 hits. 3. 4. 5. Ooh. Believe that's a new world record. I started the split wrong, so at the beginning of the run I split wrong. So I have to retime it for a few seconds, but that, oh yeah, that should be a world record by at least 4 seconds. Actually, I kind of thought it would be more than that, just because that run felt pretty good, and I used that new strat with the avoiding fall damage in stage 3. Oh yeah, they make a ton of Shin-chan games. Game Boy, SNES, SNES. There's one on the Switch. I think I speedrun the 3rd and 5th Game Boy games. Also, I'm going to keep like mashing to sort of play through this cutscene. You can't skip the cutscene to get to the credits. But yeah, shoutouts to Mechasonic and Pizza Cat for running this game and finding various route changes and new strats. And just, you know, motivating me to also come back to it. get better times. And if anyone wants to learn this route or this game or any of the Lupin games, there's a Lupin the Third speedrunning Discord. You can find it on most of the leaderboards on speedrun.com or the series page. Because I speedrun basically almost all of them, so I can help you speedrun any of them. Especially this one, just because there are more people speedrunning it right now, finding new stuff. Alright, I'll let the credits play out. Is there anything else I wanted to say? You can follow me if you want to see more Lupin Sensei runs. I also sometimes run, other random anime games every once in a while. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think that's everything. Thanks for watching. Keep watching SNES Super Stars. See you next year, probably.